Hi, I'm Professor Susan, this is Quick ESL, and today we're going to talk about a book that I really like. It's called Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It's one of the great books of English literature. And the reason I want to talk to you about it is that I want to put your attention on the first sentence. If you are assigned English books to read, all right, and you don't know how to gain entry into the story or what it's about, generally you get a lot of information about the book from the first sentence. And if you think about it with your human experience, you can often find an end to talking about and writing about the book. So Jane Austen, the first sentence is this: "It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife." So what does this say? It's by itself. In literature, you can have a paragraph that's just one sentence. It's by itself, and it's kind of funny, isn't it? It doesn't say he is. He doesn't say, she doesn't write, "It is a truth that a man in possession of a good fortune wants a wife." She shifts it. It's a truth everyone agrees on, that a man with a good fortune must be in want of a wife. Not is, must be. So it gives you a sense that there is a world around this man pushing wives at him. Hello, you're rich, you have to be wanting a wife, right? Now, that's not always true. But it means that the world is free in its mind to take that for granted. So there's a kind of humor and gentleness in the first sentence combined. It's not humor that is making fun of the people who think this. But you know, for instance, that the book is going to be about a man with a good fortune, at least one, and about how the world conspires to find him a wife, and possibly whether that agrees with him finding one. It's surprising how much tone is in the book. But English is a head-first language. We want to know the story right away. Look at American movies. Right? You don't even have to get past the opening credits to know, is it a thriller? Is it a comedy? What's it going to, more or less, what the tone and general subject matter of the movie is going to be. You know that before the credits are finished. You know that by the opening scenes. All right? The same thing is true of a book. You might read a paragraph or two more, and find out what happens next. Because next, in this book, she makes it clear that the world may not know about his feelings, right? Or the views of the man, but everybody in the neighborhood takes it upon themselves to assume that and to find him one. So she carries that idea forward. So if you get to the bottom of the first page, you have an idea of what the author is thinking in wanting to write this book. There's a joke of in Snoopy, right? Snoopy is always planning on writing a book, and he always writes the first sentence. "It was a dark and stormy night." Well, yeah. If I start a book with "it was a dark and stormy night," you know a lot of things. Something is happening, it's mysterious or dangerous, people are going to get in trouble, danger, murder maybe, or magic. So the first sentence of a book is a big clue. And if you want to play the game of English literature, you have to be somebody who picks up clues and say, well, I wonder how this is going to work out. And take that clue and go looking for how it fits together and slowly piece them all together in the book. So that's the first sentence of Pride and Prejudice, opening a window on the whole book. And also giving you an opportunity to write a paper. There's a lot of topics for papers right in there. Does this truth still hold today? Do people generally see a rich man and think he wants a wife? Or do people look at a rich man who is single and think, well, the last thing he wants is a wife, he wants to keep being a playboy? Is it different in different cultures, right? Is it all right for people to interfere? Today, we kind of think the people in the neighborhood pushing wives on him would be a terrible thing, perhaps, different from then, right? And then you could also write a paper about how that idea plays itself out. Do the people in the neighborhood pushing wives on rich men actually have the right idea, or do they actually continually make mistakes about who belongs together? This is a social commentary. There are many topics for a book that you could, a book paper, that you could guess and come up with just from the first sentence alone. So that's my suggestion to you, basically. Read the book, first of all. It's funny. I like it. And if you're assigned a book like this, use the first sentence as your first clue, as a sort of lifeline to take you all the way through the rest of the book unto the end, right? To give you questions and interesting topics, because you're going to have to write about it if you're going to have to read it in English. I can guarantee that.